Hello and welcome to YNWA Transfer News, your ultimate source for all Liverpool FC transfer news. Our first news is this: Gary Neville's new Premier League title. Prediction after Liverpool returns to winning ways. Gary Neville said that he is confident that Arsenal will win the Premier League after the Gunners recorded another win and another clean sheet on Saturday. The Gunners traveled to Turf Moor and picked up all 3 points, courtesy of goals from Victor Gyökeres and Declan Rice. Mikel Arteta's men have been relentless since the start of the season, scoring 18 goals and conceding just 3, putting them 6 points clear at the top of the table. Neville has tipped Arsenal to win the league previously, but he now feels stronger than ever that this could be the Gunners' year. "Look, Arsenal can lose the title from here," Neville said. "I understand why Mikel Arteta, the Arsenal players, and even the fans will play down the idea that they have to win it this season. But they're the most consistent team, and they've been building up to this now for 3 or 4 seasons. I actually tipped them for the title for the past 3 seasons, and they've obviously fallen short. I thought they should have been there last season when Liverpool won it, because I thought if Man City dropped off, Arsenal had to be the team to do it. There won't be many people making excuses for Arsenal this season, and that's not me applying pressure to Arsenal. I just think they're the best team in the league and they've got the right squad. It's only November, so it's crazy to suggest you should win the league from here. But they should, and if you're not Mikel Arteta or an Arsenal player, you can say that quite confidently. Neville believes Arsenal's squad depth makes the team the clear favorite to get over the line after a number of near misses in recent years. The reason I say I'm confident Arsenal will win the league is because you always think about what can stop a team, Neville added. If Liverpool lost Virgil van Dijk or Mohamed Salah in previous seasons, they would be in trouble. But I can't think of any player Arsenal might lose now, and it would mean they would lose the title. Even the 2 center-backs because of the summer signings. Every position is covered. Bukayo Saka was that player in the past, but Noni Madueke came in when he was injured. Everywhere they are properly doubled up with the same level of quality or only a small drop-off. So who's going to take it off them? Arsenal would have to beat themselves not to win it. I don't think Man City are going to get back to a level they've been at previously and come back at Arsenal. Pep Guardiola is a genius, but he hasn't got the players or the team playing at the level needed. Liverpool are the only team, but they would have to get back on track very quickly. Jamie. Carragher forward response sums up Liverpool feelings on Alexander Isak. Jamie. Carragher has suggested that Liverpool may not have pursued Alexander Isak in previous transfer windows. The Reds shattered the British transfer record to secure the Swedish international after a protracted saga on deadline day, with Isak making a 125-minute switch from Newcastle United to Anfield. The 26-year-old forward went on strike at St. James's Park throughout pre-season in an attempt to engineer his departure, training alone and not featuring in any of Newcastle's summer friendlies or opening Premier League matches. Isak, who has sat out Liverpool's last 3 matches due to a groin injury, has had a sluggish start at Anfield, having to play catch-up following his disrupted pre-season. So far, the striker has made 8 appearances for the Reds, contributing a goal and an assist, but he is yet to find the back of the net in the Premier League for Arne Slot's team. While Isak has yet to justify his hefty price tag at Liverpool, fellow new signing Hugo Ekitike has emerged as one of the standout performers for the Reds this season, reports the Liverpool Echo. The France international has netted 6 goals and provided an assist in 14 appearances since his own move from Eintracht Frankfurt, joining Liverpool in a deal potentially worth up to 79 million. Starting 10 matches, the 23-year-old did find himself relegated to the bench behind Isak for Liverpool's Premier League showdowns with Chelsea and Manchester United, but has since reclaimed his place in Slot's starting lineup. The pair arrived at Anfield as part of a staggering £450 million summer spending spree, with Liverpool bringing in 8 new senior signings in what proved to be a record-breaking transfer window for the club. However, that substantial outlay was offset by approximately 200 million generated through player departures as 10 senior players left the club, including forwards Darwin Núñez and Luis Diaz. Tragically, Diogo Jota lost his life following a car accident during the summer months. Such frenzied transfer activity has been uncharacteristic of Liverpool, who have traditionally preferred to strengthen their squad with just one or two carefully selected additions each window. Former Reds defender Carragher has suggested the club would not have pursued both Isak and Ekitike in previous years, endorsing a social media observation to that effect. The Liverpool icon responded to a post from EBL on X, which read, "Liverpool of the past only sign Ekitike, not Isak. He profiles as someone who can become as good as Isak whilst being a similar profile for half the price. Except maybe that has happened quicker than expected. Causes: selection issues with two special number 9s. At Slot's disposal, Slot has only deployed Isak and Ekitike as a strike partnership on one occasion this campaign, during Liverpool's commanding 5-1 victory over Eintracht Frankfurt last month. Mohamed Salah was left on the bench as the Dutch head coach switched to a 4-4-2 formation to accommodate both strikers, but the Swedish forward had to be substituted at halftime due to a groin problem. Ekitike is expected to spearhead the attack against Real Madrid on Tuesday night after Isak sat out Saturday's victory over Aston Villa, with Federico Chiesa and Florian Wirtz providing other options in attack. Alexander-Arnold return. Slot selection dilemma. Liverpool versus Real Madrid. Pre-match talking points. Liverpool hosts Real Madrid on Tuesday in one of the most eagerly anticipated Champions League matches of the 2025-26 league phase. That the clubs have won a combined 21 European titles underlines the seismic nature of this encounter, and the build-up has been heightened further with the return of two former Reds to Anfield. There's also a healthy rivalry that has developed over recent years between Liverpool and Real, who have met in 4 of the last 5 Champions League campaigns. Arne Slot's side won last year's encounter, a night made even more famous by a Kawhi Kelleher penalty save and Connor Bradley's slide tackle on Kylian Mbappe. The Reds will be hoping for something similar on Tuesday, and we've rounded up the major pre-match talking points. Trent's return. Trent Alexander-Arnold's first Anfield appearance since his acrimonious exit over the summer has dialed the intensity up a notch. The boyhood Red has been outspoken ahead of the game, giving a detailed interview to Amazon Prime in which he discussed the reception he is expected to receive, whether he would celebrate a goal, and how his first few months in the Spanish capital have gone. Alexander-Arnold is not the only former Champions League winning Red set to return on Tuesday. Xabi Alonso also departed Liverpool to sign for Real as a player, and over the summer was enticed back to the Bernabeu. This time as head coach, Alonso did come up against Liverpool last season at Bayer Leverkusen, but this will be a different affair entirely for the former midfielder, who remains a popular figure at Liverpool. Vital points on offer. Liverpool has amassed 6 points from the opening 3 games this season, and a defeat on Tuesday would leave the Reds in a difficult position to secure automatic qualification to the knockout stages. Last term, 16 points were needed to finish in the top 8 of the league phase, and, should Liverpool lose on Tuesday, it would mean the Premier League champions could only finish on a maximum of 18. In that scenario, it may take 4 wins from the remaining games against PSV Eindhoven, Inter Milan, Marseille and Qarabağ to guarantee automatic qualification. Slot returned to last season's winning formula on Saturday, which secured a first Premier League win since mid-September. Will the Dutchman stick with that X or feel compelled to rotate given the intense fixture schedule? There's also uncertainty over whether Alexander Isak and Curtis Jones will be back for the clash at Anfield following recent injuries. Should Slot look to make changes? Milos Kerkez and Florian Wirtz are 2 obvious players who could return to the lineup, with the latter drawing interest from Real over the summer. Liverpool prepare 53 meters bid for La Liga star with Real Madrid listening to offers. Liverpool are preparing a bid for Real Madrid midfielder Eduardo Camavinga as they look to strengthen Arne Slot's squad, according to reports. The Reds won the Premier League title last season and started off this campaign in perfect form with 5 wins from their first 5 matches. However, Liverpool then lost their next 4 Premier League matches to hand Arsenal full control of the title race, with the Gunners currently 7 points clear of the Reds and 6 points ahead of second-placed Manchester City Slots. Midfield has looked disjointed at times this season, while their defense has come in for a lot of criticism too, and now Liverpool could look to improve things with some mid-season purchases. One player Liverpool have been linked with for a long time is Real Madrid's Camavinga, who has fallen down the pecking order in midfield since Xabi Alonso arrived at the Bernabeu. And now Spanish publication Fichajes insists that Liverpool have reignited their interest in the Real Madrid player, taking advantage of his diminished role since Xabi Alonso took over as manager from Carlo Ancelotti. Liverpool are preparing an initial offer of around 60 millers, 53 meters, with the Real Madrid hierarchy having no intention of selling, although the board is open to listening to offers if the figure is attractive enough. The report adds, sources at Valdebebas insist there's no intention of letting the player go, although they admit everything could change if an exceptional offer arrives. Real Madrid needs to balance the books, and while selling Camavinga isn't a priority, a substantial offer could open the door to discussion in Florentino Perez's office. Liverpool have been tracking Camavinga for some time. Arne Slot had already expressed his admiration for the player before leaving the bench, and his successor has rekindled that interest. At Anfield, they are looking to strengthen their midfield with a versatile player capable of winning back possession, distributing the ball intelligently, and breaking lines. Liverpool suffered a blow earlier this season, with Giovanni Leone suffering a serious injury that will likely see him miss the remainder of the season. That means the Reds are very short at center-back, and when asked whether Leone's injury could force them into the January transfer market, Slot replied, "That all depends on whether we get more injuries, yes or no. And if there's a chance in the market, all the answers I always give, but I would not prefer to go to 24-25 players. Also, if it is ever a situation where I lead a team that has 4 or 5 injuries throughout the whole season, it might be a bit smarter to go to 24-25, but recent history showed that we have a good record until now. We don't have 5 or 6 injuries at the same time throughout the whole season. If that would be the situation, then we would end up with 15-16 players, and that would normally be difficult. So it's a choice I like to make, but I think it is also a financial choice that we as a club have to make. If we want to keep these top players, we cannot have 24-25 of them." Liverpool's Marc Guehi. Update: January transfer possibilities and competition for the defender. Transfer expert Fabrizio Romano has provided an update regarding Liverpool's interest in defender Marc Guehi, hinting at the possibility of a transfer during the January window. This comes as Liverpool celebrated a convincing 2-0 victory over Aston Villa at Anfield, which propelled them up to 3rd place in the Premier League standings. Liverpool's recent performance has been a welcome relief as they aim to regain consistency after a challenging period. Despite the victory, the team's early season form raised concerns, as they have relied heavily on individual brilliance rather than cohesive teamwork, following a massive overhauling of the squad that cost over $400 million during the summer transfer window. Among the new signings, striker Hugo Ekitike has made an immediate impact, whereas Federico Chiesa has shown flashes of quality but seems to be on the fringes of manager Arne Slot's plans. Romano discussed Chiesa's situation, revealing that while he desires to remain at Liverpool and fight for a starting spot, there is potential for a move in January if his playing time does not increase. Italian clubs are reportedly eyeing Chiesa, and should his circumstances not improve, the likelihood of a transfer could increase. Regarding Guehi, Liverpool attempted to sign the Crystal Palace defender in the previous transfer window, reportedly agreeing to a $35 million deal on deadline day, only for Palace to retract the offer due to their inability to secure a replacement. With Guehi now likely to leave Crystal Palace, Romano confirmed that Liverpool is among several English clubs interested in the talented centre-back. There is also interest from top Spanish and German clubs, including Bayern Munich, who could look to add Guehi if they lose players in upcoming windows. Romano emphasized that Guehi will take his time to weigh his options, indicating that the situation could evolve into a significant transfer narrative, potentially impacting other players as well. As the January window approaches, all eyes will be on Guehi and how Liverpool and other clubs choose to navigate this high-stakes market. Thank you for watching. Like and comment, subscribe.